my friends. It is Sunday night, and I am so excited to share with you what I want to share with you because, boy, had I only known this earlier, it would have really helped me. And what I want to talk to you about is for anyone who wants to try something new, who really wants to master it, and it's something that is challenging for you. Woof. Hey, it's Sunday night. It's been cold and rainy here in Los Angeles, and it's been feeling a little like winter, but not anything like it's been feeling winter in other parts of the country. I'm always so grateful for living out here. After living in Chicago for 11 years, I don't miss the cold at all, but it's been a little chilly, a little rainy, a little wet out here. So hey, if you're listening to this, even if you are not listening to this live, but you listen to it later, I want you to chime into the chat box. If you've ever had something that you've wanted to master, I mean, get really good at it, but you weren't very good at it in the beginning. So just share with me in the chat box if there's ever been anything that you've tried to master, but you weren't really good at it, but you knew you wanted to master it, and how hard that was. And I just want to give you an example. Let's say that there are, two people who are called to learn to play the piano. And one just has a story that they tell themselves of like, I'm terrible at this, but I love it. I love playing the piano. This is so much fun. I love figuring out the notes and the scales and all of that. And then the other person is like, I hate this. This feels drudgery. I hate doing this. Now, in your own mind, you already know, I don't even have to ask you which one of these people are going to head into mastery, right? It's the person who already has a story around, I love doing this. This is so much fun. Because if we love doing something, we're willing to spend the time and effort into it that it takes to get to mastery. But there's going to be things in your life that you will want to master, or that you'll have to master to get to the next stage of your life. And you're going to approach them and you're not going to want to do it. So I want to give you the idea of what the 5 stages of mastery are, because I think it will really help you. It has certainly helped me understand where I might be in any one of the stages for me to just keep going if I want to master something. So first stage is one we almost all universally experience, especially if it's something we don't know how to do, and that's fear. So the first stage of mastery is you're just going to be afraid. You're going to be afraid of how it's going to look. You're going to be afraid of doing it well, of not doing it right. All of it is just fear around, especially if you're someone who's been successful in one area of your life and now you're trying something brand new. This self-esteem can take a hit when we really are not great at something and we have to fumble around on it. So fear is going to be the first state or the first stage of trying to master something. I certainly have experienced that, and I certainly have stopped myself from mastering something just because I hit the fear stage and I'm like, I can't do this, right? It's too scary. I've stopped in the fear state. Maybe you have too. But the next stage of this is an interesting stage, and that is the stage of hate. You hate doing this thing. Like, you get to a point and you're so frustrated with it and you can't figure it out. It's way harder. Everyone else seems to be able to do this, and this thing is just ridiculously hard for you, and you don't want to go any further because it just irks you so much. So hate becomes the next stage. You just really don't like this thing. But again, you can stop in that stage because it's so frustrating. You hate doing it. And I think I've stopped in this stage and something as well that I've just like, boy, when it comes to like marketing or stuff like that, the things I have to learn around that, I can certainly find myself saying things like, I really hate this. This isn't for me. Maybe it's social media. You know, say, I hate doing this, da 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 da. I get it. I certainly have stopped in that stage too. I'm never going to get to mastery though, if I really want to master something. Now, the next stage, oddly, is apathy. It is a neutral state. Like, you get to a stage if you've made it through the fear state, and then you make it through the hate state. I hate this thing. Then you make it to a state of apathy, like, whatever, it's fine. It's neutral. I'm not really doing as well as I want to do. And this is where we can get in a comparison mode of like, I'm not doing as well as everyone else seems to be doing. And I don't know, you might have even heard yourself say things like, it's just not for me. I've tried it and it doesn't work for me. That's the apathy stage. That's the stage where we can often get to, and I can tell you, I've quit at this stage too. That I just haven't been able to feel like I'm making the momentum or the progress that I think I should be making, instead of just accepting that it is a process and I have to stay in the process to do it. So I've got first three stages are fear, hate, apathy. You can see we're kind of getting better. If we stick through that apathy stage, though, if we stick through that phase where it's fine, it's no biggie, if we just keep going, we're going to get to a stage of like, because our abilities start to expand and we start getting a little bit better at this thing. And this thing, we're able to expand our abilities to do it, which means we're made playful. And when we're playful and have a mindset of being playful about something, well, then we're willing to really stick in and explore more. And you know what's next. Once we get from the playful or the like stage, then we get to the love stage, which just ends in mastery, because you were willing to stick through it and find your ability continue to rise, rise, rise. And when you get to a certain state, now you can have some fun with it and really explore and expand it. And that's where mastery comes from, your willingness to stick through it. And I know that's super hard. It's so easy to tap out in certain timeframes. And I'm telling you from someone who has tapped, I'm a tap out queen, or I have been, understanding that you just are in a stage. It doesn't stay like this forever if you're willing to just keep going. And that doesn't mean that every day that you show up has to be the best day. It just has to be another day of showing up and practicing it and doing it and testing it out, right? When you're in the process of becoming a master at anything, there's never going to be a time when every day is great and wonderful. It just can't be that way because you're not learning anything. There's going to be massive failures, massive disappointments, massive ways of thinking to yourself, I can't do this. And that's when you'll tap out. My friends, the people have become master at anything. The only difference between you and them is that they were willing to go to the next stage. They were just willing to stick it out and keep going. That truly is the major difference. And while they might have some natural skills, or maybe they just loved it from the get-go, there's going to be something else in their life that they are struggling with that maybe you find really easy to do. And you've had no problem because you've liked it from the very beginning. So don't compare yourself to other people. You don't need to. All you need to know is if they got there, you can too. It might be on a completely different timeline. It might be a completely different quality. It doesn't matter. Mastery can show up in lots of different ways. But mastery only comes through time and experience. Time and experience. So keep at it. If you find yourself in the fear stage, that's normal. Everybody experiences, especially around something they are scared to do or feels brand new. You might reach a hate stage, like, I can't do this. This is awful. I'm terrible at this. We call this self-hatred. We turn on ourselves. It's not even the hateful thing about this thing so much as hating myself. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm so terrible. Keep going. You're going to reach a stage where it's like, whatever. I'm not that great. It's fine. Maybe it's not for me, because you can't see how far you are into the forest. You got to just keep going, because there'll be a time when you realize, oh, I kind of like this. Hey, I'm pretty good at this, right? All right. Once you begin to like it, you're just going to end up doing it more. And then comes a full-on love affair with this thing that you've been trying to do for so long. Art of mastery at anything. It's a challenge for anyone who has to face a thing that they don't want to do but want to do, right? That thing that will call them to the bigger place. I know they don't want to do it because they know it's going to be hard, but they want to do it because it's going to take their life to the next level, their relationships to the next level, their career to the next level. I get it. But that's 5 stages, my friend. Here we go again. You got fear, hate, apathy, like, love, and mastery. I hope that helps you. I really did help me understand that all of those are very normal. And anyone who's gotten to the place that I want to go had to go through them, and they just kept going. I hope you're willing to keep going too. Bye, friends.